but I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
Hanging from a thread till you dead, cause your partner put a price on your head. Cause your chick was laying up in his bed, she getting details, spilling every word that you said. She working retail, thirsty bitch just trying to get ahead. If history tell us anything, y'all both end up dead. It's just a street tale of fable, some shit someone said. Sit at the table and hope there's more to offer than bread. Pulled out the cradle, first steps you getting chased by a fed. No head starts, just body parts and lead sparks. Old religion, brand new hate and weak hearts. Oligarchs, krakens, dragons, you see sharks. Imagine you could manage to maneuver the deep parts. You a savage, you can have it, just show all your teeth sharp. If you could grab it, you could stab it, just aim for the bleeding heart. The ones that show compassion, a soldier that seeks art. Does the artist that wage war take over or take part? Taking a knee, thinking no one faithful is me. I'm good people in bad lands, no evil live within me. I mind mine, I'll survive, find this lands for the free. If I'm mistaken, I'm forsaken, no one rescuing me. Residual effects, stray bullets through familiar necks. For any number of infractions that I deem disrespect. Your beliefs, you deserve better, but we both in the shit. You just haven't come to grips with it yet. Fight or flight, and they ain't really nowhere to go. If your back is against the wall and you ain't throwing no blows, you gon' crumble in the rubble, become blood in the snow. If you a victim, they collect them, grab the body and go. Dig them and ditch them, total disregard for the soul. Gas them and lit them, watch the flesh burn in the glow. Where we live and catch a shivering, it's a hell you don't know. Your best hope is that your dying ain't slow, or your dying's a show. Where we at, it's every man for his own. A bloody backdrop, where killers just zone and slice flesh to the bone. Masked and gloved up front of your home. A flash of gun, but the side of your dome. Fresh blood from a stone, dents in your sense. Kick your fucking ball through the fence, dare you to say something. No sense in sitting around in suspense. Find out what's next, open your fucking mouth, disrespect. See the extent of how my life is intense. She beautiful and oppressed in a permanent summer dress. She a servant and still she blessed. Children cradled against her breast, whispering prayers, wishing their souls the best, knowing that they forgotten, not forgetting they're blessed. The bloodiest red lights, just piles of dead life. Something must be broken, the glyphs wasn't read right. You think them Bible papers will shed light? Yeah, right. Burn after reading, tell the preacher I'm leaving. What is poppin', people? Welcome back to Shy Ill Reacts. I am your host, Shy Ill, and we are back in the building. Salutes to y'all for being here on this lovely Thursday afternoon. What is poppin', y'all? I hope everybody's out there getting that. Let's let the coins drop in the piggy bank, man. Millions! All right, everybody getting that money. Salutes to y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Don't be a greedy bench. And let's make it happen. Salutes to y'all. All right, good morning, noon, on this lovely Thursday. Let's chop it up for a bit, talk our shit quickly and off top. I just want to say a happy birthday to the boy Chung's Kicks. Happy birthday to the Wook. A wild Wookie was born on this day many moons ago, because he old as shit. But shout out to the Wook. Appreciate you, bro. Salutes to you. And happy birthday, man. Hope you have a great weekend. Celebrate your weekend, and in the words of JP, go live, motherfucker. Go live. All right, salutes. Let's get it. Where we at here? All right, I'm getting your boy getting right. All right, I'm gonna go through the chat. Hopefully JP shows up. Shout out to JP. Hopefully JP shows up. I got sad news to break to him. Got some sad news to break to him. It's probably more mad news. He's probably just going to be mad and try to clap me and shit. But, you know, it'd be like that. All right, salutes. Let's get through the chat. Shout out 298 for being first. It's hidden behind the pinned comment. Shout out Dedsio. Got his reminder on. Salutes to you, Dedsio. Appreciate you. Shout out Zoraida. Buenos dias, Shy. Happy Friday, Junior, as JP would say. Salutes. Shout out Shannon. Appreciate you. Robert said, y'all hear about Big Baby being shocked. I can't keep up. That story's so convoluted. I'm telling you, it feels like the war in Sinaloa. Like it's, you know, I don't know what's real, what's bullshit. But maybe you could point me in the right direction, Robert. Y'all hear about Big Baby being shocked. He was denied bail after the court read all of his previous firearms offenses and recent threats to use them the day before his arrest. Yeah, no, you got a jacket, bro. No, I didn't see that. Not surprised. You don't get a bond. This I laughed at. I did read this earlier while I was setting up the mothership, and this shit made me laugh out loud vigorously. He said, you don't get a bond with feds unless you're an 80-year-old Caucasian Chester. Salutes. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. We have 50%. It's pretty much disrespect at this point and out of pocket. All right, let's get it. I'm not talking shit, just the truth. They didn't give Puffy a bond, but they gave the old PDF files from Fortune 500 company with no problem. I agree. Shout out Pan Da Vinci in the building. Salutes to you. All right, salute Shannon. 298 says, Shy, what up? Thanks for the shout out from my son. He lit up when he heard it, and he killed. They all did, for real. Salutes to them, bro, for killing. Listen, nerves, you have natural nerves, right? But most of the time, what people feel is nerves when they go do something is lack of preparation. You know what I'm saying? That's the lack of preparation telling you
that you see now, you done fucked up, you know that thing.
You didn't prepare yourself, so you're not as confident as you would be prepared. So salutes to him, salutes to them other kids. Those are important moments, you know. The key to making art, or the key to being successful in music and movies, and especially movies and TV, you got to be prepared to make a fool of yourself in front of people, right? And if your ego's too big for that, it ain't gonna do you no good. So always make sure he's prepared. Always make sure he's confident, and he should be fine. Salutes to you. I appreciate you, and tell them I said well done. All right, shout out Victor Islas. Bloke, Galicia, Valle, Imperial, saludos, blessings for Ensenada. Salutes to you. Detoxing off the hard shit in the holding cell is a pure form of hell. I bet it is. Shout out Velez on the check-in. Sorry, y'all. I'm bored and blabbering. Relax. You sound like JP, old school, back in the day, JP. No apologies for shit like that. Shout out ECA 22. My brother Oso. Zoraida, 323G. Salutes. All right, hit the like button. Don't be cheap, man. Don't be cheap, man. It don't cost me shit. Just, you know, listen. You're not gonna lose your thumbs up in the stock market right now because of tariffs. Don't worry about it. Hit Hit that like button. It ain't gonna hurt you. I promise. I stand on my promises. All right? To all you jerk offs out there that say that feel like you made a mistake and you want to say touche, hit the like button. All right, we have 50%. Salutes. All right, let's get it. We're gonna cover a couple of things today, quickly. JP's not here yet, so I'm gonna have to make my announcement. It's been a good test. It's been a good test. These every day, Monday through Friday, maybe Monday, but it's been mostly Monday. I think I've done more Mondays than I haven't during this test. All right, this test will evolve and change. Okay, we've been doing Monday through Friday. It would be Monday through Thursday noon, all the way till Friday, and then Friday nights would be our night stream. All right, the night stream is staying. But we're gonna have to reevaluate the 5 day a week streaming. I think it's gonna become 3 or 2, because simply stated, there's not enough me. All right, not enough me to, the more lives we do, the more content we have, the more editing that has to get done, and those things start piling up and slowing down after a bit of time. Not to mention I have other careers. With that said, I want to make improvements. I want to grow. I want to make changes. I want to make adjustments, and I can't do those things if I'm constantly outrunning the wave of what we got coming. So I'm gonna have to take the live streams back to about 3 a week. You know what I'm saying? Take those live streams back to about 3 a week. The numbers we used to have, I don't want to overdo y'all either. You know what I'm saying? When we first started this test, we were getting 30, 40 people in these live streams at noon during these weekdays. You know what I'm saying? That's slowed down to 15, 18, 20. Maybe I need y'all to miss me a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? But either way, there will always be constant content dropping on one of the channels. Even with the 3-day lives, we'll still have an everyday premiere and stuff like that. So it's not a bad thing. Again, just an adjustment. Same thing I told JP before. Let's not get attached to the schedule until we got it all figured out, and that's what we've been doing, trying to get it all figured out. Again, I need more time so that I can make the improvements to the channel, to the Discord, to the other channels, to everything. I need those days, right? So I'm considering Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm considering Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays and Wednesdays at noon, Fridays in the evening. That might be the way we kick off next week's schedule. You know what I'm saying? But that'll give me more days to edit, more days to populate the channel with content, and make improvements. I like taking classes. I like learning new things. I like listening to, teachers on YouTube teachers, and I like listening to, taking my acting classes. And so I need those extra days. So that's what we're going to do. Again, this was a test. It was a test to see what it did with the numbers. I saw what it did. Now we move on to something else and we keep it moving. All right? Either way, I'll be here. Shout out Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds on the check-in. Salutes to you and the critters. Shout out Raven Jefferson on the check-in. Appreciate you. Shy, you're smart. Put a new game plan in place. Word is that the days of no jumper, etc. are in the past. Listen, I knew that bubble would burst eventually. Now, as far as the no jumper shit, I don't know how much I believe it, just for the fact that he did that shit on April 1st, if I recall correctly. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but it could be absolutely true. It's time for restructuring. I knew the bubble would burst. Listen, I was on top of the podcast thing early. I should have jumped on early, right? I was on it. People will tell you it's just things never worked out for me. I always had something that got in the way. This got in the way, that got in the way. But I was an early proponent of this shit. In 2013, I was building podcast studios in my recording studio, put it that way. But, I always knew that a show like Drink Champs would happen. I just didn't know who it was going to be. But there's always a bubble that bursts, right? You get oversaturated in the game. People get a little bit of money. They start spending outrageous. They don't know that, shit could change tomorrow. A come up is only a come up as long as you can hold on to it. All these guys are out here repurposing their situation and making adjustments. All right? paying a lot of overhead and shit. I learned those lessons early in my career. That's why I'm a one-man gang now. You know, that's why I'm a one-man gang right now. For as long as I can be. You know? But, yeah, I learned those lessons. They didn't. He was paying rent on that barbershop. Y'all could have done that podcast anywhere. So it is what it is. Salute to you, Robert. I appreciate you. Shout out JP on the check-in. Salute Shy Il, my dude, Il Cartel members in chat. Hope you have a blessed and grateful Friday. Junior, please like and subscribe to the great quality content. It is free. Don't cost you a damn thing. Right? They're not going to come and take it because of tariffs. It's a free thumbs up, right? So JP, I don't know if you heard about the adjustments. We're gonna move back to 3 live streams a week next week. All right, salutes. So I'm mainly talking about the YNs finally realizing that admitting their crimes on video might be bad to their future. That I don't know if they admitting that. I hope they are. You know what I'm saying? I believe you if you say it. I hope they are admitting that out there. Another thing is, who knows why No Jumper's doing it? First of all, I knew No Jumper's days were numbered when AD, Duno, Terrell, all of them left, right? I knew that their days were numbered. But who knows, man? The feds talked to him the same week he did that video. We don't know if he's working with the feds, covering his ass. We don't know if he's covering his assets because things are about to go left and he knows it. Like, we don't know what it is. Or he could just be restructuring financially and you know. The pandemic gave people a false sense of security with the money. That and all of the stimulus money. You're so right, and things were different when everybody was at home during the vid. Facts. Things were different. So now we home. All right? Now we home. Now you're going to see who's really going to last. Who's really going to do the shit. You know? I feel like there's mismatch in both of those situations. Again, I respect Math Hoffa. I respect his show. Not so much No Jumper, but in both of those situations, it was just mismanagement. You know, you mismanaged the money, you mismanaged the cloud, you mismanaged all of these things, and shit go left. You're renting some shit from somebody that got you paying somebody else's light bill, and it just, the overhead was too much. Adam 22 gave the feds the footage. Big U made him edit out. Well, he gave him the letter where he was demanding the cease and desist. All right, we'll talk about that shit on the Crime Channel. I'll be debuting the Crime Channel in the next couple of days, hopefully today. I'll be moving all that stuff down. I figured for beginners, I want to keep for beginners about the lore and the history of hip hop, or whatever I want it to be. You know what I'm saying, as far as that aspect. But I want to keep that more on the positive level. Anything that has to do with crime will end up on the Crime Channel, other than cartel content that'll end up here. All right. With that said, let's get it. Shout out Velez, sent a video yesterday to the Discord. Love the Discord because we get, up to the minute information. All right, from the usual suspects all over the place. And Velez dropped a video of a dude walking off wearing a look like a city worker's, construction vest. Or the whole outfit, really. Mexico, y'all are on some Jason Bourne shit right now. All right, Mexico's wilding the fuck out. Excuse me. This is what Velez sent yesterday. It's no joke. Cesar Hernandez escaped on foot wearing a worker's uniform after busting at and unaliving a state police officer while a mega operation focused on the Privada España neighborhood of the Barcelona residential complex. Who is Cesar Hernandez? The fugitive who terminated a state agent in Tijuana and escaped a mega operation or a mega prison. The name Cesar Hernandez resonates loudly this Wednesday after a brutal attack that resulted in the unaliving of a state citizen security force agent during a high-impact operation in the Barcelona residential complex in Tijuana. What began as a tactical action to capture him ended in an escape, which highlighted the high degree of danger of this individual and his ability to evade authorities. Nah, buddy's a Jason Bourne and shit. He on some other shit. Huh? We don't know what dude's doing. What's dude doing? You know what I'm saying? Let's go check out Borderland Beat article about it. Let's see. California prison escapee unalives Mexican policewoman in Tijuana, evades capture again. Right? Again. This reminds me of that video we saw, which I don't know who they thought it was, I believe. I'm trying to remember the name. But we saw a video of a dude that just walked away. He supposedly had come through the sewers of the hotel or some shit. We saw him walk away. Shout out Raven. Oh yes, Adam, set yourself up for failure. This his ignorancy made him play yourself by having everybody sit there and tell on themselves, and now all this drama telling moneymakers have been locked up. That's it. They're gone. He lost the backbone of his shit. The last little bit he had left. He escaped to California prison. Let's see. Yep, California prison escapee. California prison escapee, unalives Mexican policewoman in Tijuana, evades capture again. It's his face. This is him with his outfit on. A law enforcement officer was terminated in an apparent shootout involving escaped California inmate Cesar Moises Hernandez. The incident occurred during a joint Mexican-U.S. operation to arrest Hernandez near Tijuana, where Commander Abigail Reyes of the FESC was shot and terminated. The shootout was a result of a joint Mexican-U.S. operation targeting the fugitive. He barricaded himself inside the home before walking out, slipping past authorities. The shootout was a result of a joint Mexican-U.S. operation targeting the fugitive. He barricaded himself inside the home before walking out, slipping past authorities. How y'all do that? Lo cagaste. How you even do that? How's that even possible that you just, he slipped out past you dum-dums? Huh? Not just any lady. What you talking about, Lucy? He managed to escape from the scene by walking out disguised as a worker, and his whereabouts remain unknown. Buddy just has the audacity to take a shot at it, and he wins. You know what I mean? Lucy said, I've read she was the head of a Casa Gringos group in TJ. Who was this officer lady? This police officer lady that he smoked? Yeah, he pulled off some magic. Walking off looking like Popeye and shit with his little hat on. Failed Tijuana operation. On Wednesday, officers from several security forces were heading to a home in search of the suspect when they were met with hammer fire. It was during the exchange of hammer fire that a FESC agent identified as Abigail Esparza, 33, was seriously injured in the jugular vein. No mommy's way.
No mommy's way.
For which she was transferred to the Red Cross Hospital, where she was later pronounced terminated an hour later. Baja California Governor Marina del Pilar issued a statement expressing her condolences. I deeply regret the passing of the state citizen security force agent Abigail Esparza Reyes while participating in an arrest warrant enforcement operation currently underway. My recognition to the elements that are bravely and exemplary participating in this operation, she said. To the family and loved ones of the agent Abigail, we recognize her bravery and dedication to the service of her state. Our wishes for prompt resignation are with you. Abigail's life will be honored and her termination will not go unpunished. How y'all let dude walk out and shit? Lucy, we're spreading rumors on this lady. Who started that shit? California is a clusterfuck since Newsom is overhauling CDCR. All these South American news outlets, government reports to one cartel or another. The ones were being hunted getting deleted. Boom, Friday Junior shit, salutes. The operation involved members of the Mexican Army, National Guard, Municipal Police, FESC, State's Attorney General's Office, U.S. Marshals were also involved in the operation. I'm telling you, there's a lot of U.S. Marshals involved in Mexico. In an advisory role to help apprehend the fugitive, a police helicopter and drones were used, but the fugitive managed to slip away. They brought the whole of their resources. You know what I'm saying? They brought everything they had to throw at this problem. And Buddy slipped past all of that shit with a maintenance man, with a maintenance worker. Oh, shit, you just proved to me it ain't true, Lucy. She said, even Chaparro said it this morning. That's one guy that I'm learning to believe in less and less. But I'll look into it. It's possible. It's very possible. All right, hit the like button if you have yet to do so, y'all. They brought the whole of their resources. They brought United States advisors. They brought Attorney General, FESC, Municipal Police, National Guard, Mexican Army, State's Attorney General's Office. And he walked past y'all in a construction fucking windbreaker. Look at him. With a Popeye hat on. All right? Look, cagaste. Buddy looked like he's smiling right there for the slip away that he gonna get eventually. Because he got it today. Escapee Delano. Hernandez, 34, escaped from custody in Delano, California on December 2nd, 2024 while being transported to a court appearance. The Delano Police Department reported that Hernandez jumped out of the transport van. He just got the nerve to do it. Most motherfuckers that just got the nerve to do it, usually they get it done. Right? They get it done. He reportedly jumped out the transport van, evaded authorities, and fled. Delano initially canceled several Christmas activities due to the escaped Terminator. On December 5th, authorities believe he had fled the Delano area already. He was serving an 80-year to life sentence for first-degree termination, a second strike offense, after being received from Los Angeles County on June 27, 2019. He got nothing to lose, man. He's going to jump. What? We in this van rolling over a bridge. I hit that door and jump in that water. Something. I mean, he's willing to take that shot. He's willing to hurt himself, unalive himself doing it. Why? 80 years to life. In 2018, he went with his girlfriend to the Las Cariñosas bar in Linwood, California, where she had once worked. Cesar had gotten into an argument with her later that night and left the bar. Cesar went looking for her in the bar and behind it in the lot. He then left in their white Nissan Altima. Well, did you find her in the lot? Was she a lizard? What was happening? He then chased after a pickup truck that, leaving the bar's parking lot, forcing the driver to pull over a block away. He then shot the driver in the head, terminating him. The victim, Edgar Vasquez, hadn't had any previous interaction with the couple at the bar that night. Wait, what? Eddie Gonzalez, you super dick sucker. You want to blow him now, Eddie? Yo, you can find anything to bring that shit back, huh? You guys are thirsty, nut hugging motherfuckers. We're not even thinking about them niggas, and this motherfucker found the connection. What a fucking goof. Let's see. So I guess, I don't know, man. Did the dude have anything to do with her? Caesar had gotten into an argument with her later that night and left the bar. He left. Caesar went looking for her in the bar. Caesar had gotten into an argument with her later that night and left the bar. I guess she left the bar. Caesar went looking for her in the bar and behind it in the lot. He then left in the Nissan Altima. He then chased after a pickup truck that leaving the bar's parking lot, forcing the driver to pull over a block away, then shot the driver. I don't get it. Evidently that dude had nothing. This guy was just a can't get right. No? Just a can't get right that but he's on some Jason Bourne. He built for that life. What a mamabicho. It sounds like he got the heart. Got the heart? What's heart? It takes heart to kill a dude that didn't do shit? You sound like a hoe. Huh? It takes heart to smoke a dude over a chick that you can't even control? That you believe is a lot lizard because you can't find her? You guys are so thirsty to make the connection, you make yourself sound like fucking pole smokers. Dorks. So thirsty. Wow, eat your shit. You see the other video I sent? Now I'm about to go back. I think we just read that to the bottom. Yeah, this guy, he got the heart. Okay? Some people smoke old ladies. They got heart too? You dick sucker? You know what I'm saying? Huh? It takes heart to not rat. Shut up. Laugh at yourself. You sound stupid. You're so thirsty to come in here and talk shit. If you find yourself in a life sentence situation of your own creation and find a gap in the transportation intake process, you take it. Not saying it's cool or right, but but motherfuckers is gonna take it. I'm willing to take that chance. That's a chance that makes sense. It's way better chance than me waiting 8 years for my parole to come up. 80 years for my parole to come up. You know what I mean? Nothing to lose. You should watch that video of how he first escaped from Delano. Shit is fun. Oh, no, I didn't know we even had that. I'm gonna check that shit out right now. The lizards, man. Was she a lizard? I don't know. He couldn't find it. He couldn't find it. That was my first thought. She a lizard? She could be a lot lizard. He looking in the lot. Oh, I didn't see it, Zoraida. I don't know. Let me see. Does it need the music? I got clapped for that music, believe it or not. I had to cut that shit out. All right, let me go see what Velez dropped in here. Buddy made a connection of having heart. This is so crazy. Fucking nut hugger emojis in the chat, man. Nut hugger emojis in the chat for Eddie Gonzalez. He's gonna learn though. He'll learn one way or the other that he make himself look worse than them. But he seems to pop up when the other 3-letter guy pops up that we don't talk to. Motherfuckers is just nut grippers. All right, let me see what's the other video. Dude been on the run for months since escaping out here in California. I was wondering why Zorada would put the laughing emoji and I hadn't even seen the video. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, this guy got all the heart in the world. Oh, man, he pulled it off, though. I know a bum that hid from the police the other day. That don't mean he got heart and shit. All right, this is as big as this video is going to get, I think. Let's see. Oh, wait, this ain't the prison break. This is the regular break. Hold on. That's him right there? So he got away in shorts? And then what? Found the outfit under that tarp? Or he had it laying there? This motherfucker think he Jason Bourne. Bruh. What happens? He pops up out of there wearing the Popeye suit? I'm so confused right now. Yeah, he does. Nah, shit. No, so that ain't the video. Let me see. I need the other one. Got away in boxers. And just happened to find his costume in the... Let me see. I
I don't see that video. But I only seen those two that I just sent. Was that it? Is that the one you talking about? Now she has somebody else, and you'll be picked up and do the rest of your 80 years. That's it. She's with somebody else. That dude that he smoked, that had nothing to do with nothing. He smoked, unfortunately, over a piece of shit like him. And yes, they are going to catch him, and he is going to do 80 years. The boy cold right now, though. He now you see me, now you don't. The boy think he's in the prestige and shit. Now we know he wouldn't have the heart to pop nobody. Who? Which? This guy right here? Why? Because he popped somebody. It does have music. That's funny. Let me see. I thought Velez said that. You see the other video I said? You should watch that video of how he first escaped from Delano. Shit is funny. That's not the one where he jumped out the van, though. Because I didn't see that video. That video's not here. So, salutes. But Buddy's on some Jason Bourne shit right now, and they can't seem to snatch him. But when they do, you'll be up for parole in 80. Well, that's probably off the table at this point. I mean, hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Who am I not hugging? Who have I mentioned? Come on, we know what you're doing, stupid, dumb fuck. But I know who Shy like to protect and hug their nuts. Shy is not only them that rat, but why you automatically think of them. It's why you're here, dick sucker, Eddie Gonzalez. It's why you're here. You know what I mean? That's all you talk about. You just upset. I'm convinced you a rat yourself. You know what I mean? That you came here and we watching another video about some, and you want to blow dude, he had heart. You're a mamabicho, right? Now watch your fucking mouth about me, because I get you the fuck out of here, dog. But I don't need you here. You don't bring nothing positive to my shit. Nothing. All you do is come suck dick. I'm straight. I didn't bring up nobody, dog. You did. I still ain't said a name either. See, you like playing these little post-smoker games and shit. These little word games. Are you like 12 years old? You might be like 12 years old. You know? Maybe I know your mom. I know a couple Gonzalez's. I don't know why people think it's that because they're in a relationship with somebody that they own them. And I don't see why people stay. So you're not owned. So get your ass out of there and roll out. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Shout out Carlos Resendez. But you're bringing them up. Not bringing them up, dickhead. I'm doing my show. You're in here post-smoking, looking like this. That's Eddie Gonzalez right there on that wrecking ball right there. He won't be catcher. He'll go out in a blaze of glory. He looks like he's the motherfucker ready to do that. I guess that means you got heart. Not like these other guys that'll remain nameless. Shh. Eddie Gonzalez, you're a cuck. You know what a cuck is? Fucking dorks. Alright. So boom. Buddy is on some Jason Bourne shit. He's out there. Beware of Popeye and the, But Buddy ran off in his boxers, went under the tarp of a whip, found himself a little outfit, put his little outfit on and got away. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Shout out Boldo on the check-in. Appreciate you. Boldo, you seen this dude right here, man? This dude fucked around and, he got away from them in his drawers and went and put on a Popeye hat and a fucking, and a neon construction suit that he found under a tarp of a car, and boom, got away with that shit, man. Bien hecho el tipo, bien tofe. Got a lot of heart, according to fucking this guy over here, Eddie Gonzalez. You got a lot of heart. If you slap up an old lady, dude, be like, you got a lot of heart, bro. Boldo, we about to hit 10,000. I'm going to hit you up so that you can join us on the panel for the 10K show, bro. Appreciate you. I think Cartel will either take him out or turn him in. Somebody going to get him. He making a lot of noise now. His name is in the news. Got images of him. Right? There's going to be guys like Eddie Gonzalez that are going to get shirts and shit and airbrush a dude with a Popeye hat and a fucking, his minion costume on and shit. And he's going to have a t-shirt like that and shit. Eddie Gonzalez is going to have that. I'm ready. You already know. Salutes to you, boy. I appreciate you. Yeah, but what I got out of this story is that dude got 80 years to life because he couldn't control his chick, right? Couldn't find her, thought she was a lot lizard, chased some car out from the bar that had nothing to do with her or him, and smoked dude because he's tough. He got so much heart. That's Mauricio work if you ask me, boy. Fuck that guy. Crazy as hell, boy.
I'm telling you to your face.
Got me fucked
you
up.
got me
Right? That's the moral of the story. Then he escaped from a van because he got 80 years to life. And then he escaped again. He started busting at the police. Then he put on his Popeye uniform and he's out. We'll see how that story goes. It's working for him so far. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. That gotta suck. But he's having an adventure on his way out. One way or the other, it's his way out. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. All right. Boom. What happened? Did the chief of the Mauritius left already? Oh, Mama's way.
No, mommy's wait.
Let's talk about, what do we got here? Let me see. Boldo, we kind of needed that in the city to show how uncoordinated the police are. They've been too busy robbing civilians. There you go. They need to get their ass to work because he made their ass look stupid. He made their ass look like we just watched the video. I'll pull the video back up. It needs that old music from the old Benny Hill show and shit. All right? He needs that music. I got clapped for that music for using it when Jay was going at Primo, right? But all of this, where is it? Look, he's not even running, bro. He's at a jog, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's jogging. Right? And the police, trash. Police, they busting at the building thinking they still getting shot at and shit. Ah, man, the other pole smoker, Eddie Gonzalez's sidekick. To me, they're all the same person. Also, John Jones and Eddie Gonzalez, all the same person. I hadn't had a workout like this in a while. Look at him, bro. Oh, wait. I think it's like a video game shit. I think there's a city uniform in here. And a Popeye hat. Is there video, Velez? Is there video of the escape of... I know you working, Velez, so ignore me. But I'm saying, does anybody know? Is there video of him escaping from the van in Delano? That wouldn't surprise me. Cartel taking him out. If he's smart, he'll come back to the U.S. because it's going to go bad for him in Mexico. Bro, he's going to end up in El Salvador, this fucking guy. Noticiero. He's going to end up in El Salvador. Look at John Jones la cagó. He shitted his first message. Couldn't even get it out right. We deserve better trolls, man. Fuck out of here. All right, but yeah, no. So, good. The police step y'all shit up in Tijuana. You got this fucking guy on the loose out there. I bet you, Boldo, if you set your mind to it, right? Again, you a street dude, but let's just say dude owed you some money or something. If you set your mind to it in that town, you could have found the motherfucker already. You know what I mean? 2 days ago. Yeah, his escape in the U.S. was funnier. Oh, yeah, I need to see the video of that. Someone will want reward money. Nah, buddy gonna end up fucked up. He made California law enforcement look super dumb when he escaped here in Kern County. Was that the initial one, Noticiero? That was the first one? That was the first escape? I gotta find that shit now. Hold on. I need to have it. What's this fool's name? Because this one was already funny. The police went to get him. He busted at them. Somebody busted at them. He jogged out of there like his name was Tad or Todd, right? Like he was Like he bought land in the neighborhood, or he bought a building in the neighborhood, and Todd ran up to another car, put on his Popeye outfit, and got out of there while the police stood in front of his house bullshitting. Yeah, the first escape. I gotta find it. Let me see. What's this nigga's name? Where's my fucking name at? Cesar Moises Hernandez first escape. Cesar Hernandez escape. Cesar. That shit's funny. Police looking crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mexican government takes them out themselves. Escape. Involved in a shootout. That's 2 hours ago. I want to see the original. Shout out that dude. What's his name? Slugs. His thumbnail says he got away again. He gonna be sent to El Salvador, sitting next seat on the plane to an innocent homosexual hairdresser. Facts. It's that easy, bro. And now you could be an American, gay hairdresser and end up in, Is this them chasing him across a field? Stop, bro. Hold on. I gotta find this video. They chasing him across the field? I see them chasing him across the field. That's funny. I need the body cam for that. Let me see. Is there a body cam for that? Please tell me there is. That's pretty funny. Nah, all I see is news footage of them chasing him across the field. Fuck it, I won't play it.
Whether you daily shave or just like to leave a bit of scruff, Manscaped continues to set the bar for...
We have new exclusive video tonight of the first few seconds of the killer making his run for freedom. 17's Rob Hagan shows you what happened when Cesar Hernandez escaped from custody 4 days ago.
New video shows escaped inmate Cesar Hernandez run across this field with a CDC officer in pursuit far behind. Join me as we trace the steps of a killer on the run.
He's a gangster. He's a fast thinker, dog. That's what I'm saying. Like, they come in here and they swing on him for other reasons, right? That's what I was arguing about earlier. Somebody came here and was like, this guy got a lot of heart. More heart than a rat. Like, come on, man. But he's swift, he's quick thinking, and he's gonna take his opportunity every fucking time he gets. Every chance you give this 80 years to life motherfucking opportunity to wiggle out, he's gonna wiggle out, dog. He's not playing, bro. He's not playing. Damn, they're all here at the same time. Blow me, Amy.
On day 4, look at this video. It shows the shocking first few seconds of the desperate escape of Delano
that
inmate.
Shit is funny, man. This guy's getting a compilation of escapes. The government got to stop him, bro. They got to stop him because he's going to become a hero pretty soon, all right? He's going to become a hero pretty soon.
It shows the CDC officer in pursuit far behind. Join me as we trace the steps of a killer on the run here on day 4. Look at this video.
Right there.
It shows the shocking first few seconds of the desperate escape.
Why not pull your hammer out and smoke dude? Hit him right in the back. Why not? Why you let him pull the prestige move on you and get out of Dodge? Magician, poof. Now you see me? Now you don't. Where did he go, George? Where did he go? Amy, where's your fucking boyfriend, tough guy boyfriend you were talking about? Huh? I wouldn't be surprised the Mexican government takes him out. Hector Bravo been speaking out about how the correctional system's so fucked. That's how this happened. Yeah, because look at this dork. Chasing him. You let him go.
Escape of Delano inmate Cesar Hernandez. Steps of a killer on the run here on day 4. Look at this video. It shows the shocking first few seconds of the desperate escape of Delano inmate Cesar Hernandez as he sprints across a field with a CDC officer in pursuit. It appears his hands aren't cuffed and his feet aren't shackled. But we don't know because CDCR is refusing to answer all questions.
And that's why he jogs like that. He don't run at a full clip. He got to save his energy. He's on the run, bro. Energy is currency when you're on the run, bro. Oh, man.
The officer raises his weapon but lowers it when Hernandez gets to the alleyway.
What a fucking dork this cop is. This is Officer Doofy right here, bro. Can we get a picture of Doofy? Can we get like a Doofy video up in here? I need Doofy on my my soundboard for when these fucking dorks come in here talking their shit. I could you know. Yeah, we need Doofy.
Penny, get the camera ready. Here, hold my gum. Hi, Sheriff. Can I get a statement?
No comment.
Damn. Do I have to screw around here to get a stupid story?
Hey, no running.
There he is. That's the cop that was chasing dude across that field.
Slow down. Blow me. All right.
Hi, Gail Hailstorm. Field reporter, Hard Story?
Special Officer Doofy.
Oh, hi, Doofy. Doofy, listen, is there a problem on campus?
No comment.
Okay.
No comment.
That's the dude that was chasing the other motherfucker across that field, bro. Right? It was that guy right there.
Hey, here's a closer look. Hernandez is...
Look at this fucking cop.
Lowers it when Hernandez gets to the alleyway. Here's a closer look. Hernandez is half a football field in front of the officer during the foot chase. Hernandez turns back to look at his pursuer. You could see the officer raise his weapon, then you could see him lower it.
Shit, I could see the smile on dude's face over here.
We still don't know if it's a gun or a taser. California Penal Code 835A states a peace officer may use deadly force to prevent the escape of a dangerous person.
I'd have domed dude. If that's my job, I'm doming dude from across the field. You gave me every reason to, no? Or am I running behind them like Benny Hill? Put the fat boys on transport duty because they can't hop a 4-foot fence. Bruh, Buddy could hop a 4-foot fence. He did. And now he's in the neighborhood. Now you can't just bust off. You had your opportunity in an open field.
This means a peace officer is justified in using deadly force to apprehend a fleeing person for any felony that threatened or resulted in death. It's still unclear why the officer did not pull the trigger because Hernandez is a convicted killer. Here's how inmates are transferred into the Delano Superior Court. In death. It's still apprehend a fleeing person for any felony that is justified in using deadly force to apprehend a fleeing person for any felony that threatened or resulted in death. It's still unclear why the officer did not pull the trigger because Hernandez is a convicted killer. Here's how inmates are
The officer wasn't built for that life. Eddie, you got it all fucked up. It was the officer that wasn't built for it. Fucking dork. Oh shit. What did Boiler say? Officer Doofy feeling real defeated right now, most likely. There's like 12 Doofies in front of the house this time. Because this was just one Doofy and the other, the guy ran off on him. The other shit was a complete operation with the help of the State's Attorney General's office, the Mexican Army, the National Guard, State's Attorney General's office, and American military as advisors. And that motherfucker jogged off and put on a Popeye hat and put on a reflector. And he's wearing a reflector, y'all. Meaning, you can't miss him. The sun literally reflects off this motherfucker's outfit. And he still rolled out on you goofy motherfuckers, man. No, mama's way.
No.
Shit. Shout out to the critters. Salute to you, Lucy. There was just 3 people unalive in federal prison at AZ. Bruh, this guy made a fool of these police. So yeah, it's safe to say all of those Officer Doofies feel real defeated right now.
Transferred into the Delano Superior Court building. You can see the inmate's hands are cuffed and his feet are shackled as 2 officers walk him through the CDCR court entrance. We still don't know if the gate was open when Hernandez escaped or if he hopped the fence. There's a concrete wall on the inside of the inmate transfer parking lot that Hernandez might have used as a step to jump the fence. The step cuts the height of the fence in half. Hernandez fled down Kensington Street across the field in front of City Hall and then southbound through the alley towards
So he left through the parking lot.
He hopped the fence. We still don't know if the gate was open when Hernandez escaped or if he hopped the fence. There's a concrete wall on the inside of the inmate transfer parking lot that Hernandez might have used as a step to jump the fence. The step cuts the height of the fence in half. Hernandez fled down Kensington Street across the field in front of City Hall and then southbound through the alley towards 10th Street. It's unclear what happened next because the CDCR isn't talking. Delano schools were put on lockdown Monday and Tuesday, and school was canceled Wednesday and Thursday.
Wait, so this escape just happened. Okay. So he's already smoked somebody else. Oh, no, this shit's crazy. Blast that volume up. Let them know.
The CDCR, how did Hernandez escape?
Hey, this is almost this video. This video is almost as good as the Acorn Cop. Not as good as the Acorn Cop. All right, but almost.
Still in the area? Does he have associates in the area? Was he handcuffed? Was he shackled?
What a bunch of fucking dorks.
Is the inmate transfer protocol? The CDCR issued a statement Thursday stating investigators have determined Hernandez fled the area and the security risk around Delano has diminished. Rob Hagan, 17 News.
That shit's crazy. Oh, that's the gift that keeps on giving. Salutes to Velez, because if I would have missed that part of it, that was so necessary. Well, he's already lived a life worthy of an action film, okay? Doesn't mean he's worth shit. He's a piece of shit, right? He ain't no Robin Hood. You know what I mean? He's a piece of shit. But the situation itself is pretty crazy, right? Anybody else want to give him props of how much heart he got? Right. Wow. Well, to the Tijuana police, get y'all shit in order. Y'all lost an officer today to the hands of a dude that already pulled a move on people here and ran off on their ass through a field. Got away. Somebody gonna poke him and leave him somewhere to cut the shit already. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. We'll keep an eye on that story. If you guys hear any updates, make sure you let us know in the Discord. And we're going to move from there. We've been here an hour. We're going to move to the Guadalajara Cartel co-founder, Don Neto, free at age 95. Coño, man, is it worth it at 95? Huh? Shout out Lucy, I did it. These old ladies are mugging me. Them old ladies don't want no problems.
You don't want no problems.
At 95 years old, is it a blessing or a curse to be released at 95? Who knows, man? Ernesto Fonseca Carrillo, better known as Don Neto, one of the original architects of Mexico's modern rug trade, is now a free man. According to Reforma, as of April 5th, 2025, Fonseca Carrillo has fully served his sentence and is no longer under any legal restrictions in Mexico. At 95 years old, the former Guadalajara cartel boss was released after serving 40 years for his role in one of the most infamous cases in narco history, the 1985 abduction and unaliving of DEA agent Enrique Kiki Camarena and his pilot Alfredo Zavala. Which is crazy and ironic that Neto's getting out now at 95 and Rafael Caro Quintero recently got expelled to the United States. Will be tried for the unaliving of Kiki Camarena and, subsequently being sued by the family of Kiki Camarena, as well as the family suing the Sinaloa Cartel. As this guy's like, I'm done. I might be 95, but I don't got no more of that smut on my hands. Ain't nobody gonna take me to jail for nothing right now. I'm good. I'm done so. There you go. Helping your people, showing love to your people is having heart, not being a Terminator. Facts. No, but Eddie wants to, he's a nut baller. He got to be, there for the nut balling. At least they already at the doctor if they want to do something. I hope the critters are okay. I forgot. I just got out of mind. I think it's a curse. Ain't much he can do at that age, but just wait to clock out. That's it. You spent what you knew of your existence in your first, your early years. You got your little money, and then the rest of your life was prison. The rest of your life was prison, and now you're at 95. It ain't like you could just go to Roots of Fight gotta stop sending me promotions because I love that fucking store. It ain't like he could go to the nearest, dive bar at 95 and go pull him a bad bitch. You're 95, Papa. You looked like you were 95 back then. Look at you. All right? The torture took place at his ranch. Same person, the same day. You talking about in the joint? That those 4 people were unalived in AZ. That was in jail. Anyways, let's get it. Fonseca was captured on April 7, 1985 by the Mexican military in Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco. In 2016, due to his age and deteriorating health, Fonseca was transferred to house arrest in a residential area of Mexico State. Don Neto is the uncle of former Juarez cartel leaders Amado Carrillo Fuentes and Vicente Carrillo Fuentes. All right, so he had already been in on house arrest. He's probably hospital bed shit. His release coincides with a pivotal moment for Mexico's criminal landscape as the Trump administration looks to take a more aggressive approach toward the cartels, including terrorist designations. Freedom for Fonseca comes just 2 months after fellow Guadalajara cartel co-founder Rafael Caro Quintero was extradited to the United States. Vicente Carrillo Fuentes was also extradited, along with 29 other high-profile cartel figures. He was expelled. All right? Wasn't extradited. He can't get a bad bitch at 95. I think he can get a bad bitch at 95, man. 95 depends how much money he got left over. You know what I mean? Depends how much money he got left over. Let's see. In March 2025, the family of Kiki Camarena filed a civil lawsuit in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of California against Rafael Caro Quintero, Ernesto Don Neto Fonseca Carrillo, Miguel Ángel Felix Gallardo, and the Sinaloa Cartel. The suit alleges that these individuals and the cartel are responsible for the 1985 abduction, physical manipulation, and termination of DEA agent Camarena. So Neto is in this lawsuit. All right, Neto, if you got some money, they coming for that shit. So in the last 5 years, you might just have to give your shit up again. The legal action seeks compensation for both past and future pain and suffering endured by Camarena's family due to his termination. The plaintiffs are requesting damages, including compensatory and punitive damages, with the exact amount to be determined by the court. This lawsuit was made possible by the Trump administration's designation of Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. The designation allows U.S. citizens to pursue legal action against these groups under the Federal Anti-Terrorism Act. Tourism, because there's no free speech on El Tubo. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so, y'all. Notably, this will not be the first time Fonseca Carrillo has been ordered to compensate Camarena's family. In 2017, a Mexican judge mandated that he pay 20.8 million pesos, approximately 970,000 US dollars, to the families of both Camarena and his pilot Alfredo Zavala. While he may be a free man in Mexico, he remains wanted by U.S. authorities for his role in Camarena's termination, though it is unclear if extradition will be pursued. Will they expel him, huh? Will they expel him? Will they expel him and send him to the United States? Huh? Will we have a 95-year-old man end up in an ADX? Huh? Will this 95-year-old man end up in the El Salvador seaside prison? Will he be expelled from Mexico to the U.S. through Cytobomb's, dealings with Trompito? Greatness hasn't realized that Trump is punishing him too. Dorks. That's correct, Shaw. I put it in the Discord. Salutes. Hector Berayes was saying that. Salutes. It's crazy. 95 years old. I don't know what kind of freedom you got left, old man. Doesn't seem like much. Doesn't seem like much at all. Former Gulf Cartel leader passes away March 13 in U.S. custody. He was cooperating witness against Menchito. Yeah, let's look for that. Because there's irony in that, huh? Shit. The problem is where is it? Let me see. 95 years old. So I guess the Camarena family run out those 20-something million already. I just think it's as every opportunity that they have to solidify and to put a dagger in the idea that these men didn't have nothing to do with taking their Kiki's life, they're gonna do it. So if they declare them terrorists and all of a sudden there's an open lane to be able to sue them, boom, they're going to sue them. If there's an opportunity to get them convicted here, there, over there, boom, they're going to do it. Like every single time there's a way to hit them motherfuckers in the head with a hammer, I think the family's going to do that shit. And if there's money to be had, they going to have that shit. He going to be sellies with that innocent hairdresser. It's going to be him and the 95-year-old. They wildin'. Former Gulf Cartel leader, let's see. El Mochomito was sanctioned by the Office of Foreign Assets Control. Jesus Alfredo Beltran Guzman. All right, we're going to get to that, but I'm looking for this. That's the problem. I don't see a story about it here yet. Fuck. Let's see, news. See, I don't see it. Let me see if it's in here. Latin Times, bet. Orlando becomes latest city to sign ICE cooperation deal. Orlando lo cagaste, güey. Mexican president pushes back. We collaborate. We are not subordinate. Hold on. We got to look at that. Because we be talking about if they're in cahoots or not. If Scheitelbaum and the United States are Secret Lovers. That's what they on? Secret Lovers. Alright, find the story. Yeah, they're gonna everything on record. They're gonna make sure everything that they can do on record, they're gonna do it. It ain't about the money. It's about getting every stab in this pot. They're gonna do it. They're gonna make sure it's on record everywhere. Oh, we can sue them. Cool, let's get on record. They did that shit. Family gonna keep taking it. That's what I think. Some families want things to be quiet, want to move on with their life. Some family wants to, make sure they bury the situation. I'm looking for this. There's some stories in this Latin Times, boy. But I don't see that specific one yet. Let me see. I'm scrolling. Oh, here we go. Oh, I had seen this guy's face. I just didn't get into the story. Let's get it.
Insurance companies make money by ruining people's lives.
You gotta relax.
So when I got injured, I didn't mess around. I hired Chicago's best injury lawyer.
Yeah, insurance companies are shit.
Cliff had won the largest personal injury.
Former Cartel del Golfo leader and cooperating witness in case against El Menchito passes away while in U.S. custody. The irony. Former leader Mario Ramirez Trevino, known as El Pelón, led the Gulf Cartel briefly in 2013 after the unaliving of David Salgado, alias Metro 4. He was captured by Mexican authorities in 2013 and later extradited to the U.S. on charges of drug trafficking and money laundering. In the U.S., Trevino spent nearly 8 years in prison awaiting the outcome of his trial. Just a coincidence. Trevino also served as a cooperating witness testifying in high-profile drug trafficking cases. He provided crucial testimony against Ruben Oseguera Gonzalez, alias El Menchito, linked to CJNG. Trevino recounted meeting El Menchito in 2014 at Altiplano Prison, where he asked him for help with firearms and arranging a cocaine purchase for his father. Authorities confirmed that Trevino was unalived on March 13 while he was in U.S. custody. However, the exact cause of termination has not yet been disclosed. We gotta relax with the music, though. Wilding with the music right now. U.S. prosecutors have moved to cancel his pending sentencing hearing and dismiss the charges posthumously. It's crazy.
I'm Christy Nome, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security.
Look at this is what y'all was raving about? Oh, she's so hot. You guys is thirst buckets. All right. Mario Ramirez Trevino, former leader of the Cartel del Golfo, was confirmed terminated by the U.S. Department of Justice on March 21st. He has spent nearly 8 years in a U.S. prison awaiting the resolution of his trial, known as Pelón or X20.
Trevino took command of the cartel in 2013 following the unaliving of David Salgado, alias Metro 4. He led the group for a short time before being arrested by Mexican authorities in August 2013 after spending nearly 4 years in a Mexican prison. He was extradited to the U.S. in 2017 on charges of money laundering and rug trafficking. Let's get this the fuck out of here. Mexican media outlets reported that Trevino was terminated while in custody at a federal prison, according to a document shared by Marlon Cobar, chief of the Narcotics and Dangerous Rug Section, a division within the Justice Department tasked with enforcing laws related to the control, regulation, and prevention of the illegal use, trafficking, and abuse of narcotics and dangerous rugs. Authorities confirmed that El Pelón passed away on March 13th. However, the exact cause of termination as well as the circumstances surrounding his passing have not yet been disclosed. I wonder why. Huh?
Shit.
U.S. prosecutors have requested to cancel his pending sentencing hearing and dismiss the criminal charges he faced since being extradited to the U.S. in 2017. At the time of his extradition, Trevino and 25 others faced an indictment on 3 counts of conspiracy to manufacture and distribute at least 5 kilograms of cocaine and 1 ton of marijuana. He was also charged with 2 additional counts of attempted distribution for his alleged involvement in a 10-ton cocaine shipment seized by Mexican authorities in October 2007 and another shipment of over 2 tons confiscated in Panama in November the same year. Prosecutors allege that Trevino led the Gulf Cartel with the help of Los Zetas. Both criminal groups worked together in an alliance known as La Compañía, which distributed rug shipments from Colombia to the U.S. During the almost 8 years he was behind bars in a U.S. prison, Trevino served as a cooperating witness in rug trafficking cases involving other rug lords. Just last year, he testified against Ruben Oseguera Gonzalez, a.k.a. El Menchito, the son of Nemesio Segura Cervantes El Mencho, leader of the Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación. During his testimony, he recounted meeting El Mencho in 2014 while they were both incarcerated at the Altiplano prison. Trevino claimed that Oseguera Gonzalez asked for his help to acquire firearms and to arrange a cocaine purchase for his father. The testimony given by Pelón was used by prosecutors as part of the evidence used against Oseguera Gonzalez, who was later found guilty of rug trafficking and firearm possession. El Menchito was sentenced to life in prison plus an additional 30 years earlier this month. Just an extra 30 years in case you thought you was going to get out this life sentence. It's just a coincidence, Shannon. I don't know what, nothing to see here, all right? Nothing to see here. It's just a coincidence. Shout out HG on the check-in. Salutes. My theory is he was in protective custody and a chomo was ordered for the hit in return for his continued breathing. It's a hell of a theory right there. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so, y'all. It's a quinky dink, man. We don't know what happened, though. We don't know nothing. We don't know the causation. All right? We need these things. There's a couple articles here that's looking crazy. Go back. The world is burning, boy, if you read the news. But they have to also keep these pages full, so it's like, whatever. It's like, whatever. What do I just see here at a glance? How Trump's mass deportation efforts are affecting legal migrants. We're living in an era of maximum enforcement. What else I see? Cuban migrant arrested while taking trash out. Says he'd rather be deported than continue at detention facility. I see private prison companies poised for windfall as Trump administration outlines $45 billion plan to revolutionize immigrant detention. Trump appointed judge blocks deportations under Alien Enemies Act over potential mistake. But they took it to the Supreme Court, and who knows where it went from there. Nothing to see here, folks. Moving along. These are just headlines I'm reading. A whole bunch of shit. Yeah, truth is very hard to pinpoint. Because everybody's talking shit. Where we at? We've been here an hour and a half. I think it's video time. I think we're going to talk about, there's a new development in the Diddy case, according to Law and Crime. I think we're going to check that out. All right, we done lost 3 followers since 3 subs since we've been here. I love shaking those off. I hope they don't come back. I'm straight on them. Sandball Cartel is taking over. Let's see. All right. Where's this Diddy discovery situation? Let's see what they got here. Man, I'd be missing Law and Crime for a couple weeks, and then I look and the stories are outrageous. Mom covered for boyfriend who beat her baby. All the bum-ass mothers of the world, bum-ass fathers of the world. Evil mom drowns toddler. Like, this is crazy. Man physically manipulated by woman's husband and 4 boyfriends. What? Too many stories out here. Soccer coach accused of terminating 13-year-old player. Like, where are these stories, bro? Missing boy's body found in landfill. Fuck. Let's get this Diddy shit from a day ago.
A major development in the Sean Combs criminal case. The defense accuses the government of trying to introduce brand new evidence that they say will not only severely prejudice Combs, but this could potentially delay this whole trial. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, we have a major issue leading up to Sean Combs' racketeering, sex trafficking, prostitution trial scheduled to begin May 5th. Actually, it is so significant that not only could it change the course of this whole case, but I wonder if we're dealing with a situation that could actually delay this trial. So if you've been following our coverage here on Sidebar, you know there has been a whole lot of back and forth between Combs' defense counsel and prosecutors about who's going to testify at this upcoming trial, particularly the alleged victims, and when the prosecutors have to disclose the identities of these individuals. Well, it is that issue that has now raised up again, and this is a monumental potential problem. I'm going to start with one of the defense's filings from yesterday, and I want you to listen to this explosive opening paragraph. Quote, after months of refusing to disclose the identity of alleged victims and just 60 days before trial, the government suddenly announced that it intended to shore up its case with evidence of redacted, uncharged, and uncorroborated crimes, including redacted, again, it's all blacked out, purported instances of sexual assault, all but one of which supposedly occurred decades ago. These incendiary allegations are substantially more serious than the charged offenses, and if admitted, would make it impossible for Mr. Combs to receive a fair trial. Wow. Now, we'll get into the law on this and if prosecutors can actually introduce evidence of uncharged conduct. I mean, we've seen that before. We've seen that in other cases. Look at the Harvey Weinstein case, right? His first trial in New York, there was a whole big issue about bringing in evidence of uncharged conduct to establish a pattern of activity to help.
So what I take it as that video of him smashing Cassie up in the hallway, that type of shit, uncharged conduct, that type of stuff. It sounded like they jumped the gun, bro, and they ain't got nothing.
You never play me, nice try. Ballin' in a nice spot. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Hello, Mr. Nice Watch.
Jonathan Pantria sent $3 salutes Chi-Il my dude. ill Cartel members, and chat. I hope you have a blessed and grateful Friday. Junior, please like and subscribe to the great quality content. It's free. I apologize for the lack of engagement. Life is a bitch when you have hood rat plans.
All right, shout out JP for the $3 power chat. Salute Shy Ill, my dude, Ill Cartel members in chat. I hope you have a blessed and grateful Friday. Junior, please like and subscribe to the great quality content. It's free. I apologize for the lack of engagement. Life is a bitch when you have hood rat plans.
But I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
Salutes to you, sir. We appreciate you. Happy Friday, Junior, to you. All right? Shout out Robert. Puffy ain't a good person. That being said, this is all character assassination and keeping him incarcerated for as long as possible. He pissed off someone important. Yeah, man. It sounds like if they're just holding him there. I ain't heard nothing of substance yet that says that this guy's going to jail other than scratched off serial numbers. Shout out HG. Yeah, you do.
But I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
That's JP's right there. Today, life's a bitch when you want to do hood rat stuff with your friend.
Prove the crimes that he was charged with. We have seen that before in other criminal cases, again involving sex crimes. But what could all this be about? Who is this about? Is this about salacious allegations in any of the civil lawsuits that Combs is facing? Could this include allegations that Combs abused minors? Again, part of the civil lawsuits? We don't know. It's all redacted. But clearly, you see the defense team on the defensive about this. They do not want this introduced. So the filing continues. For example, the indictment does not allege redacted. Instead, the charges focus on allegations about domestic abuse or supposed economic coercion of longtime girlfriends. That is the case Mr. Combs has been defending for months. Yet now, on the eve of trial and after 2 superseding indictments, the government has surfaced a new plan to taint his trial with evidence about purported heinous acts redacted, including an allegation that redacted. These are entirely new, untested, uncorroborated, and uninvestigated allegations. All but one of the alleged incidents happened over 20 years ago, with the oldest dating to the 1980s. Some of the allegations are demonstrably false, but would nonetheless require an enormous amount of trial time to disprove. Some are truly unknown to the defense.
I get it. It's the defense job to make it look like the man's being railroaded. But shit, the prosecution's looking like they're railroading the motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want us to look at here?
And the government's disclosure has been utterly threadbare so far. The allegations implicate dozens of unidentified witnesses and allege co-conspirators around the world. And some of the key witnesses to the supposed incidents are dead. Basically meaning, how can we defend against it? The defense is not even permitted to share the identities of the individuals described in the disclosure letter with Mr. Combs until April 18th, further hampering defense counsel's ability to investigate. Collectively, these new allegations require many months, if not years, to investigate, and if admitted, would require a series of mini-trials certain to double the length of a trial the government originally said would last 3 weeks. So this is an explosive allegation that on its face, I don't know if I necessarily disagree with. If they are bringing in evidence of uncharged conduct, wouldn't the defense have an opportunity to investigate it and challenge it? It seems like they're making a point. So if this evidence is allowed in, there is a chance this could delay the trial significantly. We all know Combs wants to go to trial, but how can he properly defend himself against this in just a few weeks? By the way, thank you so much for coming to us for our coverage of the Diddy case and all the latest developments. And also I want to thank and call out our sponsor and partner, Morgan & Morgan, because it's with their support that we
Morgan, you got to hook me up, Morgan & Morgan. I need a hookup. Hey.
So last night he used him. Honestly, nothing.
Generally speaking, prosecutors are not allowed to introduce evidence of someone's character or propensity or prior bad acts to suggest that the defendant did that, so it's more likely that he's guilty of this. And Combs argues that this evidence is not allowed under the federal rules of evidence, and I'll get into each one of the rules. So first up, Combs argues that this evidence shouldn't be allowed under Rule 413 of the Rules of Evidence. Now, Rule 413 states that in a criminal case in which a defendant is accused of a sexual assault, the court may admit evidence that the defendant committed any other sexual assault. The evidence may be considered on any matter to which it is relevant. But Combs argues he's not charged with sexual assault as an individual crime. And to support that argument, he goes into the language of the rule, prior court decisions, principles on how to interpret the rule, legislative history of the rule. I'm not going to bore you with all that, but the bottom line is he's not charged with sexual assault, and Rule 413, he claims, only applies specifically to sexual assault crimes. Then we move on to another argument from Sean Combs, where that the evidence shouldn't be admissible under Rule 404B, that it shouldn't be admitted under that either. So Rule 404B allows evidence of other crimes, other wrongs, other acts. It is used to prove motive. It is used to prove opportunity, intent, preparation, plan, knowledge, identity, absence of mistake, or lack of accident. But Combs argues that doesn't apply here. Quote, start by calling a spade a spade. What the proffered evidence tends to demonstrate is a propensity for sexual violence and a dangerous, depraved character. That is what the government wants to establish, and it is the real purpose of this evidence. Rule 404 does not allow the admission of evidence to prove character and propensity. The other purposes in Rule 404B2 are non-propensity purposes. There is no conceivable non-propensity purpose here, and merely repeating the words of Rule 404B2 is not sufficient. So first, Combs argues that the government doesn't adequately provide notice of what their other intended purposes are for all of this redacted evidence, and that under the law, the defense needs to know what the prosecution plans to argue so they can properly respond and defend against it. And they basically say the prosecution is acting in bad faith. Quote,
and if you ask me, it sounds like they don't have nothing else. They just got to do some sneaky shit. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. They got the right to a speedy trial. In this case means we effed up and blew his crimes out of proportion. Like, listen, I was the first person that said if he's guilty, get him. If he's not guilty, man, what are you doing?
It is obvious the government either intentionally withheld notice for the purpose of unfair surprise or was dilatory and negligent in its investigation. The government knows it is impossible to investigate these allegations in 60 days. Since the beginning of the case, the defense has been asking the government to identify alleged victims precisely so that Mr. Combs can investigate and prepare his defense. The government did not identify any of the individuals in its notice until 10:31 p.m. on March 17, 2025, after the court ordered such disclosure. But Combs doesn't just argue that the prosecution failed in the notice department, but they also argue there's no non-propensity purpose for introducing this evidence. Quote, on their face, the proffered purposes do not even make sense. For example, the government suggests that all the prior acts show plan and preparation for the charged offenses. How does redacted show that the defendant was planning and preparing to commit a sex trafficking or Mann Act violation? That doesn't even make sense, as the proffered acts are not sufficiently similar to the conduct at issue to permit a reasonable inference of knowledge, intent, or plan. And then Sean Combs doubles down and argues against the idea that these prior alleged acts of violence against women can be used to prove intent to commit the charged acts involving violence against women. Combs argues that the only way the jury would find him guilty of the crimes he's facing based on these redacted prior acts would be if it found he had a propensity for violence against girlfriends and partners, and that is not allowed. Quote, the government may say that the evidence is offered to prove intent or motive or whatever, but this court must look beneath those words to see if propensity is what gives the evidence its persuasive force. So then we go into another point, and Combs argues that Rule 403 would prevent this evidence from coming in. What's Rule 403? So the court may prevent evidence from coming into trial if its probative value, meaning its strength in proving something, its value, if its probative value is substantially outweighed by a danger of unfairly prejudicing the jury, confusing the issues, misleading the jury, undue delay, wasting time.
Building a complex website shouldn't feel so complicated. Go to Fiverr.
Or
they've been doing all of that since the raid. They've been doing that since the baby oil. Huh? You've given nothing to the media, nothing. Baby oil. So what? The biggest thing I heard was the hammer with the scratched off cereal.
Needlessly presenting cumulative or...
A bunch of hard drives that we don't know if they exist. A bunch of secret cameras that we don't know if they exist. A bunch of this, a bunch of that.
Repetitive evidence. So here, Combs argues, the evidence has little probative value, especially since alleged prior bad acts that didn't result in a conviction, they have to be treated with caution, according to Combs. He argues that these are weak allegations and there is a reason to doubt them. That the government, according to him, has provided no discovery on them, has not investigated the allegations, and Combs claims that the alleged sexual assaults are not even similar to the crimes that he's charged with, again showing they have little probative value. Then Combs argues that this evidence raises a substantial danger of unfairly prejudicing the jury, that these uncharged acts, these redacted allegations, will prejudice him so that the jury will feel the need to engage in preventive conviction even if he's innocent of the sex trafficking and racketeering charges, that they feel they have to do something. And really, Combs argues if this is the stuff that comes in and the jury will see it, they'll see him just as a bad guy who deserves punishment, particularly given the inflammatory nature and content of these allegations. Now, all of these uncharged...
So they trying to confuse the situation right there. Have him, you know, maybe his evidence beats the cases that he's up for, but they feel like they have to punish him, so they do. The same way they did to OJ after, you know, when they got him. They didn't get him the first time for the termination, but they got him the second time for the strong arming for his collectibles. Coño, el tipo es un fresco y ya. That's it. That's all he is. He's a fresco. That's it.
Acts, again, are redacted, so we have no idea
That's it.
what it is, but based on Combs' arguments, he alleges that it's all very different from what he's currently charged with. So with all that in mind, Combs' counsel explains that the evidence shouldn't be admitted, or at the very least a hearing is necessary before the evidence is admitted, because the government has not explained what it has, how it's going to prove these uncharged acts happened, and so forth. But then we move into the government's response. And they say as following, quote, "Since his arrest, the government has insisted that every victim in this case consented to every sex act the government has identified. Having made plain his intention to argue at trial that he believed every alleged coercive sex act was consensual, the defendant has put his knowledge and intent squarely at issue. To resolve that dispute, the jury is entitled to hear the testimony of redacted. That testimony powerfully establishes that the defendant made no mistake when he coerced other victims into unwanted sex. It proves that the defendant intended to take the sexual gratification he wanted regardless of consent. So the government argues that the alleged sexual assaults of redacted, that it is admissible to help prove the criminal enterprise under the racketeering charge, because the idea is that this enterprise, this criminal enterprise, was set up to fulfill Combs' sexual desires, that the testimony of these alleged victims of uncharged acts shows intent under Rule 404b2, that he intended to coerce the victims in this criminal case into unwanted sexual activity, that this is a non-propensity purpose. Quote, "Given the graphic testimony that the statutory victims will collectively give about years' worth of beatings, drug-fueled coercive sex marathons, and multiple rapes," these are the people who will testify as part of the criminal charges, "the non-statutory victims' testimony," meaning the people who would testify as to this uncharged conduct, "will be no more inflammatory than the evidence that..."
Why does law and crime stay monetized with all of these words that they be using so frivolously on this channel?
"That the jury will already have before it at this trial. Accordingly, the highly probative proffered testimony is not unduly prejudicial under Rule 403, which we discussed before." So let's actually get into that. The government says that this evidence that it wants to introduce is admissible under Rule 413, which we discussed before, the idea that in sexual assault cases, other acts of sexual assault can be admitted. Now, the government, not surprisingly, disagrees with Combs' characterization that he isn't accused of sexual assault in this criminal case, so the rule doesn't apply. The government responds and claims the commercial sex acts as part of the transportation to engage in prostitution charge he's facing and the underlying sex trafficking allegations in the racketeering charge he's facing and the forced labor allegations, they all contain multiple sexual assaults. That's what this is about. You don't have to be charged with sexual assault. He's been accused of sexual assault as part of this criminal case. Next, the government argues...
How many times you gonna say that shit, Jesse Weber? Damn, boy, you making my job harder. With any serious crime where legitimate proof is always leaked shortly after the magistrate process is concluded, they ain't got shit. him walking free would be BS. I mean, I disagree. If they ain't got nothing and he ain't do nothing, being a shithead, being a piece of shit, isn't necessarily something to put him away for. If all of these people were consenting adults, who now live with regrets, that's a different story. The government should be able to prove if he did do something, and if they can't, then he shouldn't be there. I'm not a fan of Pup either, but that being said, it would be unconstitutional to convict him of these things.
Argues that this evidence is also admissible under Rule 404B. Again, the evidence of other crimes, wrongs, bad acts to prove something other than propensity. Again, intent, motive, knowledge, absence of mistake. So namely, they make the argument that Combs had the intent to sex traffic these victims in his current criminal case and coerce all 4 of these victims to engage in forced labor. And that is especially true because their argument is Combs is going to argue at trial that all the victims consented to sexual activity. Again, this uncharged act, this alleged prior bad act, that is used to prove he knew that his victims didn't consent, that he intended to sexually gratify himself regardless of consent, and there was no mistake when engaging in non-consensual.
Now, if these redacted things are talking about him, dropping shit and drinks and shit like that, roofing, motherfucker. That's just it. Justin Bieber and Usher weren't adults. Then somebody need to say something. Then they need to say something. Something needs to happen. That should be easy to prove. I'm starting to believe he may be one of the ones that might actually beat the feds on the X cases and as far as any real crimes they have. But at the end of the trial, time served. I kind of feel like that's what it's looking like too.
Sex acts. In other words, it is evidence we need to prove our underlying crimes in the indictment.
If they're trying to say with these redacteds that he was trying to Mickey people and slip shit in people's drinks and stuff like that, that could be why they're trying to say, this is proof that these people weren't consensual. You wanted to trick them out of it. But I don't understand how that would work. And why would they even have to go to this extent with all of the evidence that they said that they had? Slam dunk shit. No bond. Like, what?
Why is filing your taxes with Free Tax USA different? Well, for starters, our...
Quote, the defendant's history of refusing to take no for an answer and intentionally seeking to gratify his own sexual desires, regardless of consent, strongly supports the inference that he had the same mindset, the same intent when coercing the statutory victims to engage in the charged sexual activity here. And then in a similar fashion, evidence that the defendant knew the non-statutory victims did not want to engage in sexual activity supports the inference that he knew or recklessly disregarded the fact that he was causing the statutory victims to engage in sex acts against their will. Thus, when the defendant inevitably argues at trial that he had no clue these 4 women did not want the sexual experiences that he demanded, the government should be able to point out that someone as practiced as he is in sexual assault surely recognized the signs of non-consent. And when the defendant claims that he only ever intended to have consensual, loving sexual experiences with the statutory victims, the government should be able to point out his repeated intent to sexually gratify himself with unwilling participants. So they are trying to establish that this pattern is important in proving the crimes here. And also, quote, evidence of the defendant's other sexual abuse proves the absence of mistake. Again, one of these non-propensity purposes. Quote, the government anticipates that the defendant may seek to argue that he mistakenly believed himself to be engaging in consensual sex acts with the statutory victims, or that his conduct was invited by his sexual partners. But redacted, including in the presence of or with third parties, such testimony therefore makes plain that the defendant did not act in advance.
It seems like they're saying that these people that are accusing him of these things have seen him slip somebody a Mickey and take it from the unwilling. And that the fact that he wasn't dealing with them at that time, see why they didn't report it then? The fact that he wasn't dealing with them at that time says that he's willing to, and that was intent on what he was going to do to them eventually. Well, then they should have known that shit too. Like, I don't understand it. Sounds like word soup to me. Can't wait for us to talk about the linked RICO charges ranging from Big U, Brick Baby to Lil Durk, even King Von. That shit goes even, according to WAC 100, Big U's name is even in the whole Sue Surf situation on the East Coast. Think of when he was saying to Justin B, you don't call. Oh, I get it. He looks so uncomfortable. I understand all of that. They have to crack that shit open, Shannon. They have to crack that shit open. We could take what we want from it, you know, but they have to crack that shit open. Somebody got to talk. And it doesn't seem like they have that because they're grasping at straws here. There's probably a whole bunch of reasons.
Inadvertently, or due to a misconception that his sexual partners were willing participants.
Listen, if you catch him for one of those things, lock his ass up. But if you got nothing, then you got nothing.
It's conduct. Oh, and by the way, you remember that whole argument that the government didn't provide the proper notice to Sean Combs about what it plans to argue about this evidence? Well, the government responds, and they claim we provided the names of anonymous witnesses to the defense on March 17th, 2025, meaning we gave the defense enough information to understand what's going on here. Then we move on to the probative value argument that I mentioned before, that the probative value of the defendant's other alleged uncharged sexual abuse evidence, it outweighs any potential prejudice.
That's it.
According to the government.
I agree with Robert. I believe what you're saying is true, Shannon. I'm talking about proving a case in the court of law. I agree.
That the value of this testimony of uncharged conduct is, quote, strong and well corroborated. The government writes, indeed, given the extensive graphic testimony that the statutory victims will collectively give about decades worth of beatings, drug-fueled sex marathons,
bro, otra vez, you gonna say it again, bro?
Statutory victims' testimony will be no more inflammatory than other evidence the jury will hear. Given the defense's likely arguments and attacks on victim credibility in this case, and the highly probative nature of the defendant's other sexual assault and abuse evidence on the defendant's knowledge, any potential prejudice under Rule 403 is easily outweighed. This is important evidence, it's relevant, it's important evidence, and it's important in establishing the crimes that we are alleging. And finally, the government argues that a hearing is unnecessary and inappropriate. Quote, although the defendant slings plenty of mud about the non-statutory victims' accounts, he has yet to produce any contrary evidence and did not attach it to his motion. By contrast, the government has provided detailed proffers of each victim's anticipated testimony and corroborating evidence. Further, the accounts of the non-statutory victims and those of the statutory victims corroborate each other. This corroboration, together with the detailed proffers of each victim's anticipated testimony, is sufficient to satisfy Rule 104's low threshold for reliability. Now, I imagine the defense would say, how can we challenge this? You didn't give us enough time, and do we even have ample time to talk to Combs about this? Again, you're throwing this all on us before we go to trial. By the way, talking about Combs' response, this defense, so in total, the government argues the court should allow these alleged victims to testify, but we got one more thing. We actually have a reply from Combs. Combs' counsel argues that the government is doing a bait and switch. That first, the government said, oh, this evidence is very different. But then, when Combs' counsel challenged it, now the government says, wait, this is actually direct evidence of the crimes that Combs is charged with. And they double down on the argument they made in the previous filing for why this is substantially prejudicial and it should be inadmissible. That the government knew about these alleged victims for a long time, that it should have explained a while ago why it was relevant and admissible, and they accuse the government of springing all of this on them, surprising them all with this. That it is impossible for them to competently investigate and prepare for a trial that will include this new evidence. And that is especially true, they argue, because in RICO, or racketeering cases, Combs, like other defendants, there is a need to be specific and particularized for the defendant. They have to know what these allegations are. And if these new allegations are probative of the racketeering charge, the government would have had to say so earlier. Quote, the redacted are not direct evidence of the alleged enterprise, its purpose or means and methods, or the charged pattern of racketeering activity. Nor is this evidence necessary to complete the story of the crimes charged or prove the context in which the charged crimes were committed. Although uncharged acts can be introduced to prove a RICO enterprise or pattern in certain circumstances, the allegations about redacted are not probative of either element here. They largely involve unknown or unidentified individuals, precede the charged conspiracy, or differ in kind from the commercial sex acts that are charged in count 1, which does not allege rape. The government does not have free rein to introduce any uncharged conduct it desires in RICO cases. The government's evidence must be limited to the particular conduct charged. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it should be treated as a duck, regardless of what the government calls it. The proffered evidence is mere propensity evidence in sheep's clothing. That's what the defense wrote. And Combs reiterates a lot of the same arguments that we mentioned before. Now look, if this evidence is admitted, I do feel confident to say that this could delay his criminal trial, because according to the Combs team, they will need more time to properly prepare. Big issue. Let's see where this goes. At the time of this recording, we don't have an answer yet from the judge, but we'll keep an eye on it for sure. That's all we have for you right now here on
Crazy Talk. Yeah, sounds like they ain't working with shit. Especially this late in the game. Why you pulling tricks and shit at this late in the game? Like, it's like you've been preparing for nothing all this time and shit since the raid. I'm almost sure that he did testify. According to Gene Deal, he's most likely will talk. Now that I think about it, the Fed's lack of ability to charge Puffy for being a PDF file is being taken out on him by prolonged incarceration as possible. Look at Justin Bieber. He's having an emotional breakdown over this. I want to see the redacted info. Don't we all? There's a lot of redacted info I want to see in a lot of different case files. I think Jane Tells is right. I do believe he's committed some crimes against women and even men, but I don't think the government has enough proof. Yeah, he's done some foul dirtbag shit. I just don't think he did the shit they trying to say he did. Based on proof, it just sounds like he's a compulsive freak. He's just a freak, man. He's just a freak, man. That's it. And the people he was dealing with, they were some freaks too. Right? Some of them have regrets. Some of them, is calladito. Justin must comply with the feds and admit everything publicly. He probably just wants to move on with his life. Who knows if he can? And that's just us saying that's just us saying that if it happened, did it happen? That's just us talking. Maybe we reading it wrong. Maybe we not. Truth gotta come out. It usually does. Except in, cases like Epstein and shit. Know what I mean? Tell JP. All I've heard is baby oil and crossed out serial numbers. That's it. I ain't heard nothing else. I heard nothing else. Officer Doofies. Alright, what's this? Who did that? Coño, man. What, JP? The Abercrombie and Fitch guy is out. But I think his case is way stronger. I don't even know his case. It's too many cases to keep up with. That shit causes lifelong problems. Indeed it does. Indeed it does. But again, we need to know what happened. The courts need to know what happened. Otherwise, they got nothing, and we got just our imaginations of what we think can be. And yeah, he looked uncomfortable. Could have been money. Could have been freaky shit. Like we've been saying, dude is a certified, Puff is a certified freak. Right? A lot of other people felt like they were okay being certified freaks as long as they was, in the music business. And it seems like some of them have regrets. I don't know that regrets end up in a court of law. Abercrombie PDF file had no problems getting a bond with the motherfucking feds. That's crazy. It's like they have protection if they're, from the Caucasus Mountains. They're protected. Right? They're protected. All right. What are we doing? We've covered some shit so far. We did the Diddy. We'll see what that turns into. We've been keeping an eye on that. We got about 30 minutes left before we get out of here. Got a premiere talking about the capture and release of Carlos Leder, the unaliving of Marquitos Toy's brother, Gail, and the subsequent vows of revenge from the Chapitos, and the IACHR calling the Izaguri Ranch situation alarming. Right, that's going to be the video that's premiered today. I'll drop y'all the link to that so y'all can join me over there at the premiere after this. We'll try to get one body cam in before we go. We were late to the premiere yesterday, but salutes, that video's doing decent. It's moving. All right, boom. This is where we're going to be at, 2:30. Make sure that's right.
Step into Wix Studio and handle every part of...
No, I just gave y'all the link to this live stream. Tripping. Delete that. Tripping. Your boy tripping. Remove. All right. Let's see. Let's try that again. It's not that. It's this that I want right here. Boom. Peace. There it is. This is where we'll be at after this. In the live chat of this premiere, alright? Sounds like a banger. Salutes. Trauma sucks. I have PTSD from seeing things that I saw due to my choices. Balls in their court. If they want to pursue the big boy charge with Puff, that's it. They can end this now, or they cannot. You know what I mean? They cannot. See, that's what happens when you walk around bullying people. Big U and Puffy, also Dirk. I'm finding out the hard way. Money doesn't make you God. They're finding out the hard way. Money doesn't make you God. Facts. All right? If you was a lame before you got the money, you just a lame with some fucking money. If you was a lame before you got the power, you just a lame with some fucking power. And we all know that you can't give a lame power because he will abuse it. Period. That's why when people tell, oh, but he get the bag shot, I don't give a fuck. That don't make him a good rapper. Don't make him a real man. Don't make him tough. Don't make him none of that shit. I don't like when people talk to me, but he does this, but he got this and he get this money. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That don't mean shit. Nothing. Nothing. All right? Boom. Let's go pick some body cam to get in before we get out of here. We'll drop a poll on what we watching next. Let's see. See what we got. Yeah, this is weird. Man tortured by woman's 4 boyfriends. Okay. 19-year-old. Nah, we'll skip that. This is pretty crazy. Meth man unalives during stop. And let's get a third one in there. Couple finds bomb on porch. Start the poll. Let's get it. Hope everyone has a great and blessed day. May y'all have great, restful, productive day handling business and hood rat shit. God bless y'all.
But I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
You bouncing on us, son? Is you out of here? All right, I don't know if you heard the news. Next week, we back to 3 days. Maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday. All right, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Inmates all suffer PTSD on fight or flight. Big U going down, sealed Dirk's fate. When Big U dropped Quando Rondo location, he was already on wiretap. No shit. Yeah, I got to get into it. I got to finish it. That's why I need the extra days, so that I could get into this stuff and not have to leave it hanging. All right? Make sure y'all vote. All right, our choices are, what we watching next is Man Tortured by woman's, sorry, I spelled that all fucked up. I'm trying to save on characters. Man physically manipulated by woman's 4 boyfriends. A man smokes method man, and drops unalive during the traffic stop, and the couple finds bomb on their front porch. You know we have to have Friday evening. Yeah, Fridays can't go nowhere. Fridays stay. Friday nights are live nights. And, you know, if I ever have compromisos on a Friday night or something, then we just do it a little earlier that day. But Fridays are necessary. Shout out JP. Salutes to JP. All right, we're 50-50 on the poll so far. 50-50 on the poll. Y'all keep pushing. Get your votes in, and we'll move right to it. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. All right. Hopefully we get word from Chucky Chingon. Hopefully I didn't say, you know, sometimes you lose viewers. You don't know why, right? Sometimes it's something you said and they don't even tell you. Sometimes it has nothing to do with you. They locked up, sick, something happened. Sometimes they're gone. I'm hoping everything is good out there with Chucky Chingon. All right? Salutes to him. We ain't heard from your boy in a couple weeks. So, salutes to dude. Let's see. All right. I think we have a winner. The Method Man falls. Get your votes in right now. I'm about to shut it down. So far, the Method Man unalives during traffic stop is winning. All right? And still winning. Yeah, life be doing that shit. It be doing it to me too sometimes, JP. You handle that shit. Handle that shit like a soldier, all right? Chin up and handle life's business. Life be calling, so do your thing, all right? And then you can, you know, when you tomorrow night you come back in.
But I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
Do hood rat stuff with your friends, bro. All right. All right, we about to end the poll, y'all. 60-40. 60-40. We got Method Man unalives during traffic stop. Let's get it. I'm intrigued by the woman's 4 boyfriends because it's, you know, I don't know. We'll see. Bodycam man smokes Method Man and drops terminated during traffic stop.
At Fiverr, we offer 3D rendering services. But you probably already...
This car. Go ahead. Just wait right here for me, all right? Yeah, I'm good.
Oh!
On the evening of May 20th, 2023, officers from the Payson Police Department were conducting a routine traffic stop on Highway 260 and East Highland Drive in Payson, Arizona. The vehicle, a white Ford F-150 pickup, had been clocked doing 69 miles per hour in a 55 zone by the patrolling unit. But what should have ended with a simple ticket or perhaps an arrest took a far darker turn.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Wait, so he was going 65 and a 55?
Stop on Highway 260 and East Highland Drive in Payson, Arizona. The vehicle, a white Ford F-150 pickup, had been clocked doing 69 miles per hour in the 55 zone by the patrolling unit. But what should have ended with a simple ticket or perhaps an arrest took a far darker turn.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Any weapons or anything in here?
Oh, no, sir. No. Okay. I'm just trying to help them take this here because we're homeless and it's what it is.
Okay. That's good. You're good, man.
Hello, how are you?
Registration, I guess.
All right. So who's been drinking in the car? Just you? Have you been drinking at all? Nothing.
I'm just bringing them up the road.
All right.
Go to stores.
Can I have you put the cigarette out? Can I have you just step out for real quick?
Yes, sir, yeah.
I want to make sure you're good to go, and I'll get you on your way.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get the insurance, though.
No worries on that. Go ahead, just set that phone on the driver's seat. All right. And then go ahead and put your cigarette out for me.
You need my insurance stuff, too?
Nope, don't worry about that. All right. All right, we'll walk back to the second car, all right? So no alcohol at all for you tonight?
No, I mean, I had to drink way earlier, a couple hours ago.
About what time was that?
3, 4, 2 o'clock. Yeah, I'm just letting these people out, dude.
Yeah, no worries. All right, what I want you to do, we'll step down here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'll have you face me this way just so we're not looking that way. Go ahead, turn your hat around backwards for me.
Okay.
What's your name?
James Wren Gardner.
Okay. That's 45-year-old James Wren Gardner, driver of the pickup. He's just told police that he drank lightly earlier on in the day, and therefore he should pass his field sobriety test with flying colours. Officers had spotted an open beer can in the cup holder within the truck, and although the stop was for speeding, tests needed to be taken in order to rule out a DUI because of that open beer can. The thing was though, ladies and gentlemen, even though yes, James had drunk alcohol earlier on in the day, it wasn't the only thing he had taken.
Go ahead and stand with your feet together, hands down by your sides. Face me. Face me. Turn all. Yep.
Boy, his heart gotta be racing. Fucking. You seen how he just whipped his neck around right there when he stood straight facing the street and then turned to him? That motherfucker.
Go ahead and stand with your feet together, hands down by your sides. Face me. Face me. Turn all. Yep. All right. Do you have any head or eye conditions? No. All right. Any prescription medication usage?
No.
Any illegal drug usage?
No.
Any marijuana usage?
Recreational, yes.
All right, when's the last time you used marijuana?
Actually, I haven't smoked for a few days.
2 days? Okay. Are you wearing contacts?
No.
All right. Let's see. Can you see this green light?
Yes, sir.
What I want you to do is keep your head still, follow your eyes, and your eyes only with the green light, all right? Do you normally have 2 different pupil sizes?
I guess. I don't know.
Just keep it still for me. Ah, there we go. Now the left eye was just a little...
They better now?
Yep.
I do get a twitch on this side.
Okay, yeah, no, your left eye was just a little squinting a little bit. All right. Just keep your head still, follow that with your eyes and your eyes only, all right? Keep your head still for me, okay?
Oh, head still.
Yeah.
Yo, I'll fall apart doing that fucking test sober, man. Miss me with that bullshit. All right, shout out Pure Art on the check-in. When the cop says no worries, you better be worried. You're gonna do a members only. Fuck them flaky fucks that only show up when the twins here. When members only for what? Yeah, I'll get members only in, during these short weeks. We're just not doing 5 days a week, for this next test. Yeah, I can't.
Keep your head still, keep your body still, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep, keep your head still. If it helps, put your hands like this. Just put your hands like that. Yep, just to help keep your head still, all right?
Am I doing it right?
Yeah, you're still moving your head a little bit. All right.
That test is a trick, bro. That test is horseshit. It's just a trick. It's all it is. It's all it will be. Just like that dog. That dog is bullshit too.
supposed to be watching, huh?
Yeah.
Bro, I'd move my head too. Dudes across the street with that fucking light.
Trying to hypnotize me?
No, we're almost done. Almost done.
Yes, sir.
Bro, they're trying to give dude a stroke. Shout out Vicente. Vicente said they trolling dude. Bro, they trying to give dude a stroke, man. Like, bruh. Just like that girl's like, man, I can't fucking, I learn how to take over because my man be beating the shit out of me. We got to cover that one here one day. That shit's hilarious. This guy spent the last moments of his life fucking playing eyeball games with this cop.
So how much did you have to drink earlier?
I just had a couple of drinks, dude. But it's hours ago, man. I told you 2 or 3, man. I mean, I went and ate, we went pizza. These people, they're homeless. I'm talking about. They're just trying to be nice, be a nice guy, dude, and fucking. They're going, you said they're going 70. I'm like, what? 70?
Where'd you guys, you said you had pizza?
Yeah, we had pizza at the, right across over by Bashers. $27 one, yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad. I'd like to run you through a couple more tests. Do you have any conditions that would prevent you from walking, turning, or balancing on one leg?
Shouldn't.
No,
shouldn't. Outside the mountain,
yeah, we'll go up here, though, okay? I'm going to have this car up.
Go ahead.
Just wait right here for me, all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
You all right? Up. Go ahead, roll medical. Someone's all passed out. Hey, buddy.
Bruh, life is a motherfucker, man. Fleeting. Just 2 seconds, 2 steps ago, Buddy was joking about not being able to do field sobriety tests, spinning and walking on the mountainside. He said, yeah, let's go to the street, walk to the street and fall out. That's it.
Hey, buddy.
If you ask me, it was a head rush from all of that eye rolling and holding and looking around and right. And plus, inebriation. Shit. Shout out Vicente Salutes. Never say a word unless it's an official command. Never help them do their job.
Turn over.
Let's go to Cartel Hangout. Go ahead.
Cough.
Do not start your business in 2025 without knowing these 3 lessons. Trust me, I learned the hard way, and back then I didn't have tools like...
It's not what we're talking about, jerk off.
Can you unlock the carpet? I got it. We're going to roll medical. 6-1, roll medical, PRC.
Hey, buddy.
Now, if Buddy doesn't have this encounter with the police on this evening, is he alive the next day? Or was that going to happen regardless?
Hey, buddy. 6-4. If you give him a fire now, he's bleeding from his nose. He hit his head pretty good. Careful, I'm getting hurt, man. He's still unresponsive.
And you know what? We need some fun today. Somebody put him in the fucking bathroom. Give him 24.
Put him in the fucking bathroom.
Yeah, he was smart for a second. Yep. You hear me, James?
He smacked the ground once.
Yeah.
Also urinated.
Yeah, his tooth a little small, but
Guy in the back.
he what?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll push Narcan just in case.
Yeah. Keep your eyes on those two in the truck.
Hey, you all right?
One in the bed, one in the cab. I'm just gonna have them step out.
Adiós, pendejo.
Adiós, pendejo.
First responders suspected that James had just overdosed on fentanyl, so they administered a shot of Narcan, a medicine that rapidly reverses an opioid overdose, in the hopes that he would recover. To their surprise, it didn't work, which ultimately left them confused. And it was now
because it was partly the cantazo against the floor that did him in.
It's time to potentially save him. The two passengers in the vehicle, a father and son, Vernon Herzer and Vernon Jr., were questioned. It wasn't a criminal investigation, rather the police needed to understand the circumstances leading up to that moment in time, because that way, again, if James had taken something, they'd know how to potentially save his life. But as you'll see very shortly, they said he hadn't taken anything.
Right, they don't have to know that he took something. Buddy fell out. It was probably the cantazo that did him. I feel like he was dizzy from all that eye rolling, maybe a little Fetty Wap in his system. Fell out. But are you saying that he smoked immediately pre-pullover? I don't know.
Man, so you're, what's his name? Yeah, driver. James. So James just totally passed out, like 100% full on, just fell over. You guys aren't in any trouble, but just because we're going to be dealing with that for a minute, would you mind just stepping out for a second? Hello, sir. I'm not sure if you heard me. Did you hear what I was saying? Yeah, so James just totally passed out, like just now. Totally fell over. So you guys aren't in any trouble, but we are going to be dealing with that for a second. So would you mind stepping? I guess they were just talking, and then all of a sudden just full on fell over. So has he been using tonight? No. Guys, let me tell you, at this point, it's not a matter of police, it's a matter of his medical well-being and life, right? Yeah. So if he has been using, it's good for us to know so that they can take care of it. Yeah. I know you guys, I know you have used in the past. Like I said, this is not a police-related thing, this is his life we're talking about. So if he's been using, or if you guys have been using tonight, now is the time to let us know if he did or not. You don't know? What's his drug of choice? Is it fentanyl?
Long time ago, yeah.
Long time ago? What has he been using recently? Yeah, and again, guys, I need to know for his, you know. You're not sure? No. Okay. Is it M30s, the blues? Not sure?
Not sure.
Okay.
Dana. Stitch. That dude.
James Wren Gardiner would be pronounced dead at a local hospital shortly after he collapsed. So, what happened? Well, while detectives were waiting for the toxicology report to come back, they quizzed both father and son once again. They were first asked about the specific circumstances of the day. Both gave a similar answer, which went as follows. At around 5 p.m, they met up with James at Alibertos, a Mexican restaurant, for some food. Shortly afterwards, they walked a short distance to the beverage place, an alcohol store, to grab some drinks. Then went back to Alibertos, sat out front and enjoyed. The trio was said to have stayed together for a few hours. The father and son drank, whilst James, after a couple of drinks, decided to hit the hay and went to sleep in his vehicle. As the evening turned into night, they ultimately left the area and headed to a storage unit, and that's when they were stopped by police. When Vernon Sr. was questioned as to whether James had smoked anything during the day, he said he wasn't aware of him using anything and seemed overall fine in the car. The detective then asked if there was anything illegal in the car, to which Vernon first hesitated, but then said there may have been an open container which at some point contained cannabis. Over the next several minutes, the detective would ask him about James potentially using various other illegal substances, including fentanyl. By this point, evidence in the form of 2 baggies and a plastic container with a white crystal substance consistent with meth had been located. However, about James potentially using various other illegal substances, including fentanyl. By this point, evidence in the form of 2 baggies and a plastic container with a white crystal substance consistent with meth had been located. However, once again, Vernon Sr. denied having any knowledge other than cannabis use. Vernon Jr. was also pressed further in his interview. At first, he, just like his father, denied having any knowledge about James using any illegal substances, but did acknowledge that his death was suspicious. When asked to explain why he thought why that was, he boiled it down to alcohol use. The detective essentially asked him if he was being for real, and it was at that point he started to change his tune. He would initially admit that he knew James smoked various substances. He, just like his father, denied having any knowledge about James using any illegal substances, but did acknowledge that his death was suspicious. When asked to explain why he thought why that was, he boiled it down to alcohol use. The detective essentially asked him if he was being for real, and it was at that point he started to change his tune. He would initially admit that he knew James smoked various drugs, including meth, previously, but said on the day in question he didn't smoke anything. When the detective told him he wouldn't be in trouble for stating if James did take any drugs on the 20th, he went on to admit that not only did he and James smoke meth prior to the traffic stop, but also that James had ingested 2 pills when they were stopped, which he believed to be fentanyl. Although the detective stated that Vernon Jr. wouldn't be in trouble for his testimony, that was only in regard to James, meaning then he was charged with possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of which he believed to be fentanyl. Also that James had ingested 2 pills when they were stopped, meth, prior to the death. He went on to admit that not only did he and James smoke meth prior to the traffic stop.
That cop tricked him. Those cops are so fucking full of shit. This is not about police. This is about his life. Shut your stupid ass up.
But also that James had ingested 2 pills when they were stopped, which he believed to be fentanyl. Although the detective stated that Vernon Jr. wouldn't be in trouble for his testimony, that was only in regard to James, meaning then he was charged with possession of drugs.
So think about it. His body got to be out of control at this moment. He trying to keep his cool and shit. And then fall out.
Paraphernalia and possession of a dangerous drug. So, the moment you've probably been waiting for. What happened to James? Well, believe it or not, his cause of death was revealed as dilated cardiomyopathy as a result of meth and alcohol use. Dilated cardiomyopathy, for those of you who aren't aware, is a heart muscle disease where the heart chambers, especially the left ventricle, enlarge and become thinner, making it harder for the heart to pump blood efficiently. With no fentanyl in his system then, it seems as if those tablets were meth, which probably triggered him to have this reaction. Surprisingly, ladies and gentlemen, this case had little coverage when it happened, and James's family went weeks without knowing what exactly happened to him. This lack of transparency led to speculation. His family assumed foul play. As a result, the police released the footage that you've just seen.
It's crazy, boy, how shit can change in the blink of a fucking eye. Alright? Bananas. Say no to drugs, kids. Cut the shit. I believe when your number is pulled, it's your time to go regardless. Yeah, well, his number was up. His number was 2 pills. One too many. Shout out Young Jizzo on the check-in. Salutes to you, sir. We about to be out of here. You need a lot more Narcan for Fetty Wap, if it even responds. We saw that cop. They hit that cop with like 7 of those Narcans. There was Narcan boxes all over the place. Shout out Upper Echelon on the check-in. Shy blessings to you in the Shy Ill Cartel. Salutes to you. Appreciate you. Boom, boom, boom. All right, y'all. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. I'm going to run through the chat real quick. I'm also going to drop the link for the premiere we're about to be at in the live chat. Boom. 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 Meet us there. Shout out Fernando. Got his like in before the show ended. I appreciate you. Thank you. Salutes. Next week, we're going to be going to a 3-day schedule. I don't know what days it'll be, but I'm thinking Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Friday is the night. stream, and Monday and Tuesday will be noon streams. That's what we're trying next time. I tried to see what the numbers did here. They weren't very different, so we're moving back to something more sustainable, something where I can do more maintenance to the channel, more adjusting, more tinkering. Hey Shy, let's try to do a Kingpin Reacts live, members only. Well, let me know when you want to do it. Holla at me. I think that's what Young Jizzle was talking about. Members only, so that the nut huggers can't just be wreaking havoc. Shy turning into the can man. What you mean the can man? What that mean? The can man. Let me run through the chat real quick. Shout out 298 Sosa. Shout out Zoraida, Shannon, Robert, JP, 298 Victor Islas, ECA 22, Velez, Robert, my brother Oso, 323G, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Raven Jefferson, HG. I love that we got a bunch of ladies repping in the El Cartel. It's dope. It's evened out around here. Let's see. Mama Eddie Gonzalez up in this bitch. Shout out Boldo for coming through. All right, y'all seen? We set the invitation for Boldo to come through for the 10K celebration. It's funny, John Jones came up in here and then he got his tongue stuck up his own ass. He forgot what to say. Shout out Noticiero. Salutes. Appreciate you coming through. Amy, which Amy is John Jones. Amy is Eddie Gonzalez. Amy is also. They're all the same. We're going to get them the fuck out of here. Shout out Carlos Resendez. Shout out Panda Vinci. Salute Shannon. HG, appreciate you. JP, appreciate you. What else we got here? Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Pure Art. You got another Mauricio right there. Fernando, Upper Echelon. Oh, anyone can get it. Anyone can get it, dog. I ain't worried about this. He said, I'm the can man. I remember. Now I remember that shit. That shit's funny. Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays. That sounds better? You like that one better? Maybe I'll put up a poll in the Discord. Maybe 3 videos. I think we have like 2 we wanted to do. Yeah, we can do that. You drop and think like a kingpin type bread? Damn. We need to find a video of women content to react to. Don't limit them to just woman content. How rude. Ladies, get them. Shout out Lupe the Bull, Northwest Illinois in this bitch. Salute to you, sir. Appreciate you. Gonna lose fan. I'm talking to JP. Shout out Shael. What? What are you talking about? Shout out Upper Echelon for the $9.99 super chat. See everyone tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow night we will be here. The Friday night live. All right. Next week we'll go to a 3-day format because again, there's not enough me. It's mad shit to do. I want to make the channel better. I want to make the merch better. All of that shit, you know. So I need those extra days to get that editing done. I looked in the unfinished editing folder. That shit was deep. I was like, no. This everyday shit, you know. It hasn't changed. It hasn't advanced the channel enough for me not to dial it back a little bit and try something else. All right. Boom. Let me throw hundreds up in there. One second. Boom. With that said, we are about to get out of here. There will be no music or pomp and circumstance. We're just going to be out the door. So y'all can meet us at the next premiere about the Carlos Leder situation. And we will be over there in the chat. All right? That video just started. It's about 20-minute video. So I got you. I'm just talking shit. I mean, videos that women like. It can be Cartel women. I want to know about this Queenies and shit like that. So I don't know nothing about that. Let's do it for sure. Especially when you're poisoning yourself. Shout out 298. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. I was talking about the cancel culture vultures. Salutes. What you saying to me? I haven't been around talking like a man. You can say it like a man. All right. I will see y'all. Here's the link. Here's the link. Here's the link. Right. I'm already over there, as a matter of fact.
To leave a bit of scruff, Manscaped
Right.
continues
I'm
to
already
set the
over
bar
there.
for men's grooming standards.
Right. I'm in the chat. Shannon beat us to it. All right. We over there. Boom. Let's get it. All right. Meet us over there. With that said, I will holla. Peace.
You never play me, nice try. Ballin' in a nice spot. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Hello, Mr. Nice Watch.
Jonathan Pantria sent $2 pure art 831 can go fuck his trolling self.
JP got that shit in there at the last and last. You gotta appreciate that shit, Pure Art. Salutes. Pure Art can go fuck his trolling self. Salute. Shout out JP. I appreciate you. Meet us at the other premiere, man. Y'all wildin' the fuck out. I can't. It's like I got a bunch of badass kids over here, man. Salutes. I holla. Peace.